All right, we're going to start the meeting.
Nathan Burlingame. Laurie David. Dan Dreyer. Here. Rob Duca. Andrew Fackler.
Here.
Alex Foster. Here. Marla Ham. Gray Hanley.
Here. Here.
Joan Lawrence. Meyer. Kitty Myers.
Here.
Mark Turnbull.
Here.
And Dick Wood. Then we have a couple people missing. We do have four.
Welcome to the June 18th, 2025 Historical Affairs and Landmark Review Board meeting. Effective July 1st, 2024, updated state legislation continues to require certain county board of including the HLRB, to have an in-person forum to conduct monthly business. HLRB hearings are provided in a hybrid environment, both in person and streamed online. Members of the public may attend and participate either virtually. For members of the board joining us virtually this evening, please join us via the Microsoft Teams link. Please keep your device muted until you speak, and ensure your videos are on the entire meeting. For members of the public joining us this evening, today's screen from the county website via Microsoft Teams link. There is also a dial-in phone option for those who wish to use it. Please keep your device muted and video turned off until you are called upon to speak. For public speakers who are pre-registered, please wait until you are called on to speak. For those who have not pre-registered, requests for public speaking can still be submitted. Staff will do their best to accommodate those requests. However, we cannot guarantee that they will be met. Speaker slips are available at the front of the room for speakers who have not pre-registered. Public comment is only allowed for items advertised on the HLRB agenda. The ability to sign to speak will no longer be available after the HLRB chair has stated that public testimony has been. All public comments must be shared verbally for the record during the assigned public testimony period. The meeting chat should not be used for discussion, written comments, questions about agenda items, or requests for more information. You may use the chat for technical assistance. All voting will be done by a call to roll. Lastly, this is a public forum. Today's meeting will be recorded and posted on the website. Avoid sharing any personal information that you would not like to be made public. All information associated with today's meeting, whether written or spoken, is subject to Freedom of Information Act requirements. And then we'll move on to the review and approval of minutes from last time. Oh, does anyone have any comments or questions about the minutes from last month? Oh, sorry. I move that we approve the minutes from. Thank you.
All right, please respond yes if you approve the May minutes. Nathan Burlingame.
Yes.
Dan Dreyer.
Yes.
Andrew Fackler.
Yes.
Alex Foster. Yes. Gray Hanley.
Yes.
Jerry Laporte.
Yes.
Joan Lawrence.
Yes.
Katie Myers.
Yes.
Mark Turnbull.
Yes.
Dick Woodruff.
Staying.
Motion carried.
We're going to move on to the consent agenda. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about the item on the consent agenda? I move that we approve the consent agenda. Please call. Oh,
I'll second that.
and please call the roll.
Please respond yes if you support the motion. Nathan Burlingame.
Yes.
Dan Dreyer.
Yes.
Andrew Fackler.
Yes.
Alex Foster. Yes. Gray Hanley.
Yes.
Jerry Laporte.
Yes.
Joan Lawrence.
Yes.
Katie Myers.
Yes.
Turnbull.
Yes.
and Dick Woodruff.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Before we move on, I just want to thank you for joining us, Ms. Kastner. I see that you joined us virtually, so your item was just approved by the HALRB. So I'll follow up with an email with your approval document.
Great. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
COAs that are just listed for informational purposes. And then I guess we're going to get the chair's report, and I don't have anything new, but we were expecting JD Spain to come, but he is postponing until next month. I think everyone got that email. I hope you saw it. So he will hopefully join us next month. And we've gotten a couple questions, and you can still email me those. We're still trying to figure out
The format.
Yeah. That's all.
Okay, then we'll move on to staff report. The first thing we wanted to announce is that the Brennan House is now officially an LHD. It became our 43rd LHD last Saturday when the county board approved it and the design guidelines. So we're really excited about that. And I wanted to thank Katie for speaking at the Planning Commission on behalf of the any questions about Brennan House before we move on to the next item? Okay. Go ahead, John.
So quick outreach update. We've had two more outreach events that Historic Preservation has participated in since our last meeting. The main one is the event that you're going to see right on screen here, the County Juneteenth event. This was hosted by the Arlington County Black Employee Council on Tuesday, June 17th. The full program ran about 90 minutes, and the unveiling of the Queen City marker was the last thing on the agenda. So we were sort of the capstone to that event. We had a chance to unveil the marker. We also had some guest remarks from Dr. Scott Taylor from Black Heritage Museum of Arlington. I remember speaking for the marker developmental phase. We also had Allison Smith Holland, who's one of the assistant managers over in DES. She specifically has been helping us with the permitting side of getting all of our historic markers in. She is also a Queen City descendant and was on site to actually choose the location that the Queen City marker was going to go. So she made some remarks as well. In Dr. Taylor's remarks, he went out of his way to thank Historic Preservation and the HALRB for all of your hard work. And at this point, we are just waiting for one more piece to arrive in the mail. After that, all of the permitting is a go, the misutility checks are a go, and the markers should be in the ground on time right as soon as we get that last piece. Additionally, we also participated on the June 8th Living History Day, which was hosted by Fort C.F. Smith Park. This was a request for Historic Preservation's table presence at the larger park event. So this is just the annual Living History Day that Fort C.F. Smith hosts every year. This was on Sunday, June 8th. It was a rainy day, so attendance was a little bit more than expected. We still got about 100 people showing up and had a number of unique interactions with the public, got to hype the LHD program, and got to support one of our more visible LHDs in their public history mission. So, you know, it's been a good month for us from an outreach.
Okay. So the final staff update that we had for you all is a training reminder. So most of you are familiar with this, but I thought I would take the opportunity to go over it very briefly and walk through it, and then remind you all of some of the opportunities coming up that you could participate in. So Arlington County is a certified local government, or CLG, with Virginia's Department of Historic Resources. So basically that means that HALRB commissioners are required to complete annual training, and that allows the county to retain our status as a CLG. So there's a lot of different activities that can count as your formal training. I have some of them listed here, but I'll go through a couple of them. You can attend a conference or just a session. You can go on a historic house or site tour. A lot of people do that. You can watch any sort of like topical video. You can read preservation briefs. You can do a hands-on training. It's like a wood window workshop or something like that. You could also visit a museum that has an exhibit up on something that's topical to history or historic preservation. Or you could attend a lecture or a class. So every month I've been trying to send opportunities that you could participate in at the end of the email. So I'll continue to do that. But I'm reminding everyone now, because the deadline to have your training done for this fiscal year, which is they have a different fiscal year than we do. It's from October through September, is September 30th. So I'll send another reminder in August to have that done. But September 30th is the cutoff date. The other points that I wanted to make about this is that if you have already completed your training, you can send me that information in an email. Again, I'll send my big email in August and ask for this information again. But I figured some of you probably have done your training already, and you can send me a description of the training. So what was it? How long was the training? Who the training provider was. So if it was like you went, what museum did you go to, or who was hosting the conference, as well as the date that the training occurred. We do require that the training be at least a minimum of about an hour long. So that could mean that you read several articles, that over the course of reading all those articles, it took you about an hour to do it. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing. So let's say you went on a house tour that was 30 minutes long, and then you went on a different house tour and it was also 30 minutes long. You could use both of those to count for the score. And then that brings me to the final point, which is that we do have an upcoming opportunity. The DHR tends to do, they took a hiatus during the pandemic, but the past 2 years, they've hosted these training workshops that are specific for CLGs, and they really cater to commissioners. I attended one of them last year, and it was very useful. So I highly recommend, if anybody has the time, to go to any of these. The only one that will count towards this fiscal year's requirement is the August 22nd one, and it is all the way in Roanoke. So it would be understandable if you don't want to do that one. But the city of Hopewell is the next one in November, and then Stafford County, which would be the closest one, is November 14th. It is a day long, so I think it's about like 9 to 4. They have a lunch break in between, but it's a really great way to connect with other commissioners on other commissions across the state of Virginia, to learn a lot of information. And actually, I think I wrote down some of the topics they're going to talk about. So it looks like some of the things are going to include, but it's not exhaustive. They haven't finalized it quite yet. They said that they'll talk about reviewing National Register nominations, evaluating the significance of 20th century residential districts, the importance of survey and how to update existing surveys, just the topic of demolition by neglect, and then rehabilitation case studies. So they do have trainings throughout the country, the people they partner with. They're experts in the field of historic preservation. So highly recommend. I did send out an email with information about how to sign up. So if you need me to send that again, just let me know. But that, I think, is all that I wanted to cover for the training. Does anybody have any questions about the training? Yes.
So those 3 opportunities are ones that you had already sent out the email, right?
It is, yes.
Okay, so I think I tried to sign up for the Stafford County one. I never got any
Like a
response back.
confirmation. They said that you wouldn't. So because it's a Google form, they couldn't. Google form doesn't like send you an email that says confirmed, you've got it. But what I can do is reach out to DHR and make sure you're on the list for the November 14th one. And I believe Gray also signed up for.
Yeah, that's
That's-
right. Thank you. That would be great if you would check
Well,
on that, because
At
I
what
had the
point
same problem.
is information about it?
I think it's about like a week or 2 before, but I can confirm.
Okay, but it's definitely that day, right?
Yes, it is that day.
Planned to be all
It
day.
would be all that time.
Okay,
But not to sound like I'm honest, but that won't meet the training for the September 35 to September 30th deadline.
Exactly.
So you still need to do training, but that would cover for the next year. So if you wanted to get it done early, then the dates just don't match what we're talking about. And then
Yeah.
also to even be more obvious, I just want to make sure everybody knows, this is the Virginia Department of Historic Resources. They're the State Historic Preservation Office for Virginia. So just want to kind of clarify, because we're used to acronyms. I just want to make sure. everyone understands.
I went to one that was conveniently in Alexandria several years ago, and it was very well done.
a lot of information.
I've been to two of them, one in Roanoke and one in Hampton Roads, and both extremely valuable, I thought.
Well, Dick and Gray, I will.
Okay, thanks.
I'm sorry you broke up on that. I didn't hear what you said.
Will confirm that you're on the list of participants for November 14th.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Would qualify for training or anything like that?
I just wanted to kind of bring up that there was the SBRCB for the Inn of Roslyn. This was their second one. It was held on June 2nd. And Alex was there and represented, you know, the HLRB. And we also went over in summary the comments that you all provided concerning the project. And they have made some updates to the design. They definitely took into consideration a lot of aspects of what you all were trying to get them to reach. But, you know, as it sometimes goes, there are some things that don't, but we're going to see how it goes with, they're going to make more changes, and then there'll be more internal conversations with them about, okay, if you're not going to be doing salvageable, you know, materials into your design, what is some things that aren't tangible that you can do? And that's going to start going more of a like negotiation back and forth. So I think that the designs are up on the website. If you want to see what they've done, they've kind of did the whole Art Deco style. And there was a bit of a debate with staff on the fact that have it be more of the existing architecture of the Inn of Roslyn, but that doesn't follow the area plans recommendations. But staff also does like the design, but there's still some things that are missing. They need to try and fix if possible, or they're just going to have to handle those conversations as it goes. Planning Commission, and when it goes to the county board, which will probably happen in September. So, Alice, is there anything you wanted to mention, or that catches?
Sorry, but man, they did take your advice and incorporate the sign behind the lobby, downstairs. So it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's just the question of lighting and let people know what that sign is and let's come up with some type of explanation to it. So that'll be some more details that we work out probably throughout the summer. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And there is not really anything to kind of mention just yet with us filling the principal planner position. I'm working with human resources right now to get that announcement together, but I'm anticipating that hopefully it will be posted by the end of next week. So that's kind of our biggest update.
What is that, John?
That was me.
Okay.
That was me. So we're looking for a new me.
And are you the permanent Cynthia?
Yes. So you were here last
Okay, congratulations.
and everybody threw me a big party. And,
He abstained from voting.
yeah.
Not clear that he read them.
So, but yes, I'm the new supervisor for the program. And so now we're wanting to, but we've been kind of a team in transition for a while now. And so hopefully over the summer, we'll get that position, the principal planner position filled, and you know, we'll see where that goes with the team. That concludes the staff report, unless anybody wants to ask any questions. Yes.
I have a question. What's the status of Melwood? Any developments? What's going on with that?
So Michael and I were talking about it, and there's a couple things. We haven't gotten any updates from planning staff or from housing staff on what is going on with the project. But I will say that when we were at the planning commission for the local historic district with the Brennan House, surprised the team was from the Melwood project team was there for a different project, and they asked if we were still on track. And we were still on track with the estimated timeline of getting through that study for that local historic district designation. So,
Which is,
well, right now, Michael is working on happiness.
Yep.
Local historic district. She's getting through her research now on that. And we have a set timeline of getting that to you by the fall. for review. And then the administrative stuff, when it used to go through planning commission and you're the HLRB, planning commission and the county board is part of the plan, but we're coming up with a rhythm on getting through that local historic district, getting through that administrative process to then still be on track with getting to the Melwood designation. So we anticipate that we'll be
Starting
yes.
the study by the end of the year
Yeah.
at the latest, like December timeframe, because once I bring happiness to you all, there's not a lot of work that has to happen afterwards on the report most of the time. And so you can kind of start working on other things in the background as you're pushing it through the county board. So that is the current estimate, is to start working on them, because we take them, as you all know, first come, first served. So we have to work on happiness first before we get to Melwood. The hope of, I don't remember the date on my calendar, but I think it would be spring is when we would bring it.
Great. I have another question.
Yes, sir.
What's the status of the changes in the application process, sort of the regs for doing a historic district? Remember the public application process that we discussed? What's the status of it?
Well, the last time we talked about it a couple months ago, was the idea that when we hit possibly the 6-month mark, that we would do kind of an internal review about the changes that we made to see if we needed to make any adjustments. I don't think we're at that 6-month mark, but let me get back to you on that.
Okay, are they in effect now?
Yes, they've been in effect since November.
Do we have a copy of it in writing?
We can get that to you. It's on the website.
Oh,
There's a
it
whole
is?
page. Yeah, there's a whole page on the local historic district process, how somebody can get, submit their application, and that is there.
I sent an email with as well. The website's probably easier.
All right, if, no one has anything else, we'll adjourn.
No.
Is this a record?
I know.
Pretty
Pretty
close.
close.
Bye, Nan. Bye, Gray. Thank you for joining, guys.
Bye-bye.
There you go.